nothing the human mind could conceive of or design or build.
Jim was very certain that there was no one else in the scene when he took the photograph.
Silent witnesses in the form of photographs capture moments that continue to surprise scientists. In the 1950s, the Cooper family took a picture in their new Texas home, only to discover a ghostly figure hanging in the background. Despite an exhaustive examination by prestigious scientists, these photos remain unexplained. What makes these images so impenetrable to scientific inspection? Join us as we look deeper into the disturbing photos that are sending warning signs, becoming impossible to ignore. The horrifying Daylon case. Another unsettling case involves Daylon Pua, an 18-year-old who disappeared in February 2015 while hiking in Hawaii. Daylon, known as Mo to his friends, ignored his grandmother's warnings and ventured onto the dangerous Haiku stairs. He sent photos to his family during his hike until he suddenly stopped. One of his final pictures shows a shadowy figure hiding behind a bush. No one knows who this person is, and despite extensive searches, Daylon's whereabouts remain. Now, let's consider the strange image of the Solway Firth spaceman. In 1964, Jim Templeton took his daughter to a beautiful spot in Cumbria, England, and took a photo of her. When the film was developed, a figure in what looks like a spacesuit appeared behind her. Templeton insisted that no one else was there when he took the photo. Explanations range from a photographic glitch to an actual extraterrestrial visitor, but none are conclusive. Another puzzling photo came from the SS Watertown in 1924. After 2 crew members died in an accident and were buried at sea, their faces reportedly appeared in the waves next to the ship. The crew captured this phenomenon on camera, and the image became famous. Some skeptics think it was a trick of the light or an overactive imagination, but others believe it was a supernatural event. There's also the eerie image from the Amityville Horror House. In 1976, paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren set up cameras in the house, which had a dark history of family murder. They captured what looks like a ghostly child peeking out of a doorway. This photo has fueled debates for years about whether it shows a restless spirit or a well-crafted hoax. A photo taken in a cemetery in Queensland, Australia, shows a ghostly figure in the backseat of a car. The photo captures a spectral figure sitting behind a grieving woman. Neither the woman nor the photographer remembered anyone else being present. This photo has been analyzed for decades, with some saying it's an accidental double exposure and others insisting it's evidence of the paranormal. Consider the sighting in the background of a photo taken at the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. Known for inspiring Stephen King's The Shining, this hotel is rumored to be haunted. In 2017, a guest took a picture of the grand staircase and captured a ghostly figure at the top. Despite efforts to debunk the image, it remains a chilling piece of evidence for those who believe in ghosts. Another baffling photo is the Tulip Staircase ghost, taken in 1966 at the Queen's House in Greenwich, England. A reverend and his wife took a picture of the staircase, capturing what appears to be a figure holding the rail with both hands. Experts have examined the photo and found no signs of tampering, adding to the eerie authenticity of the image. These unsettling images remind us of the strange things that cameras can capture, making us wonder what lies just beyond our understanding. Whether these photos are clever hoaxes, tricks of the light, or glimpses into another realm, they continue to captivate and confuse us, leaving us to ponder the unknown long after the picture has been taken. The mystery continues with the strange case of the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. This famous ghost photograph was taken in 1936 by photographers from Country Life magazine. The image shows a transparent figure descending a staircase. Many believe it to be the ghost of Lady Dorothy Walpole, who died under circumstances in the 18th century. Skeptics argue that the image is a double exposure or a simple trick of light, but believers hold it up as one of the best pieces of ghostly evidence. Then there's the creepy photograph taken at Sefton Church in Liverpool, England. In 1999, a parishioner took a picture during a service. When the photo was developed, it revealed a strange figure in old-fashioned clothing standing among the congregation. No one present recalled seeing this person, leading to speculation about a ghostly presence. Experts have examined the photo and found no evidence of tampering, leaving the origin of the figure unexplained. Moving to more recent times, the photo of the ghostly monk at Newby Church in North Yorkshire, England, taken in 1963. Reverend Kenneth Lord took a photo of the altar, only to discover a shrouded figure resembling a monk standing nearby when the picture was developed. The figure's face appears distorted, adding to the eerie quality of the image. Despite numerous investigations, no one has been able to explain the figure's presence or authenticity. Consider the case of the fire in the woods. In 2008, a group of friends camping in the woods took a series of photos around their campfire. One of the images revealed a ghostly figure standing among the trees. The figure appears to be wearing old-fashioned clothing and seems to be watching the campers. Efforts to debunk the photo have been unsuccessful, and it remains a favorite among ghost enthusiasts. There's also the eerie image captured by a security camera in an old hospital. The camera, set up to monitor a hallway, captured a translucent figure walking down the corridor. The hospital had been closed for years, and no one was supposed to be inside. The footage has been analyzed repeatedly, with no satisfactory explanation for the figure's appearance. These photos make us question what we see and what lies beyond our understanding. Freddie Jackson's wartime photo. Now, consider the haunted mirror at Myrtle's Plantation in Louisiana. Visitors have reported seeing strange reflections in the mirror for years. A photo taken by a tourist shows what appears to be a ghostly face looking back from the glass. The plantation has a history of tragic events, leading many to believe that the mirror holds the spirits of those who once lived there. Despite numerous attempts to debunk the photo, it continues to intrigue and frighten those who see it. These photos remind us of the strange and often unexplainable things that cameras can capture, sparking curiosity and debate. Whether they're clever tricks, coincidences, or genuine glimpses into another world, they continue to fascinate and unsettle us, challenging our understanding of reality. Dalen's tale was a tangled story full of strange events and questions. One of the most famous parts of this story was the photograph of Lord Sears' ghost taken in 1891. It was at Miss Sybil Corbett's house. The picture showed a man sitting in a chair, but he looked almost see-through. People said no one was actually sitting there when the photo was taken. Some thought it was a trick with double exposure or photo editing, but there was no clear answer. The ghostly figure left many people puzzled and curious. Norway's Hinn Valley, strange lights filled the night sky. No one could really explain what they were. These lights were sometimes mistaken for lightning, but they had a unique pattern and brightness that made them different. Some thought they might be alien ships, while others believed they were natural but unexplained events. The lights continued to fascinate and confuse those who saw them. Their true cause remained unknown, leaving people wondering. The ghostly face of Freddie Jackson appeared in a World War I photo taken by the Royal Naval Air Service. Jackson was a mechanic who had died just days before the photo was taken. Yet, in the picture, he seemed to be standing among his fellow soldiers. Some said it was just a double exposure or a mix-up. However, the fact that his funeral was on the same day as the photo added a creepy twist. The photo remained a strange artifact from wartime, blurring the lines between reality and the supernatural. Jim Templeton took a photo of his daughter that caused a lot of buzz. Behind her stood a figure that looked like a spaceman. However, there was no one there when the picture was taken. Experts at Kodak confirmed the photo hadn't been tampered with, but no one could explain who or what the figure was. Some thought it might be a time traveler, while others believed it was someone in the background who went unnoticed. The photo continued to spark debate and curiosity. A 1930s photo showed a woman holding what looked like a mobile phone, stirring up discussions about time travel. Taken decades before mobile phones existed, this image challenged what people knew about history. Some said it was just an object that looked like a phone, while others believed it was proof of someone traveling through time. The photo remained a fascinating piece of evidence for both believers and skeptics. The 15th century painting Madonna with St. Giovino by Ghirlandaio had a strange detail. There was a dark, disc-shaped object above Mary's right shoulder. Some thought it was an early depiction of a UFO, suggesting the artist saw something unusual. Art experts debated its meaning. Some said it was just a decorative element, while others believed it was something more significant. The painting continued to intrigue people who wondered about its true significance. The crew of the SS Watertown reported seeing the faces of two deceased sailors, James Courtney and Michael Meehan, in the water after their burial at sea. A photograph showing two ghostly faces next to the ship added to this eerie tale. Despite thorough investigations, no one found a satisfactory explanation. The photo became a haunting reminder of the strange things that happened at sea. An underwater photograph taken long before digital editing existed showed a strange, unidentified creature. Critics claimed the photo was doctored, while others believed it was evidence of an unknown sea creature. The photo continued to spark debate, reflecting the ongoing interest in the ocean and its unexplored depths. These stories and photos challenged what people knew and believed. Each one left more questions than answers. They showed how much there was still to learn about the world. Whether it was ghostly figures in old photographs, unexplained lights in the sky, or strange objects in paintings, these stories kept people guessing and wondering about the possibilities. They were reminders that, despite all the knowledge and technology, there were still many things that couldn't be fully explained or understood. And maybe that was what kept life interesting. Those moments that made people stop, think, and question what they thought they knew. Before digital editing existed, Robert Lacerra captured a strange object near Hook Island in Australia. The photograph showed something in the water, sparking curiosity and debate. Some believed it was an unusually large wave, while others thought it might be a sea monster. Despite various theories, the true nature of the object remained unknown, leaving people to wonder what Larick had really seen that day. Fashion changes a lot over the years. An old photograph from the 1930s caused quite a stir when it went viral. It showed a man at the beach wearing clothes that looked surprisingly modern for the time. Most people on the beach were dressed in the typical style of the era, covering up much more. The man's modern-looking outfit seemed out of place and led to many discussions. People tried to explain it, but no explanation seemed completely convincing. The atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima in 1945 left a lasting impact on the world. One haunting image from the aftermath is particularly memorable. A shadow was burned into the concrete by the intense heat of the explosion. This shadow, left by a person caught in the blast, remains despite efforts to remove it. It serves as a permanent reminder of the tragedy and the power of the atomic bomb. These strange stories push us to explore and find answers. The haunting of St. Augustine Lighthouse. Diane Berlow visited St. Mary's Church in Wanstead, England with her family. Her husband took a photo of her sitting alone in the church. When they developed the photo, they were shocked to see a blurry figure behind Diane. No one had been there when the picture was taken. This figure, called the White Lady of Wanstead Church, puzzled everyone, and no one could explain who or what it was. Outer space is vast and full of unknowns. In 1960, satellites detected an unidentified object. NASA called it the Black Knight. Since then, the object has appeared and disappeared from view multiple times. Some people think it is just space junk, while others believe it might be an alien spacecraft watching over Earth. The true nature of the Black Knight remains a topic of debate and curiosity. These stories, from strange photos to unidentified objects in space, show how much there is still to learn about the world and beyond. People naturally want to understand these odd events, even if the answers remain elusive. Each unexplained incident adds to the sense of wonder and the drive to uncover more about the universe. Robert Larick's photograph from 1965 continues to intrigue those who see it. The object near Hook Island stirs the imagination. Similarly, the man in the 1930s beach photo, wearing clothes that seem out of time, challenges our understanding of fashion history. The shadow burned into the concrete in Hiroshima stands as a solemn reminder of the past, while the ghostly figure in St. Mary's Church raises questions about what might exist beyond the visible world. The Black Knight satellite remains one of the most compelling puzzles of outer space. Its intermittent appearances keep scientists and enthusiasts guessing. These stories, each with its own unique elements, invite people to ponder the unknown. They highlight the human desire to seek answers and the enduring appeal of the unexplained. From the waters near Hook Island to the skies above Earth, these tales encourage a sense of curiosity. They remind everyone that there is still so much to discover and understand. The strange and the unexplained continue to captivate, urging further exploration and study. These stories serve as a testament to the enduring quest for knowledge and the fascination with the unknown. Our planet is full of strange and unexplainable events. Lighthouses, for instance, hold a peculiar allure, and the St. Augustine Lighthouse in Florida, one of the oldest in the U.S., has an extra layer of interest. Over the years, many people have reported seeing a ghostly figure at the top of the lighthouse. One person even managed to capture this apparition on camera. Some say it is the spirit of Maria Mestre de los Dolores Andreu, the first female lighthouse keeper in the country, who died tragically after falling from the tower. This adds a haunting aspect to her legacy, forever linking her to the lighthouse she once cared for. Visitors and workers have claimed to hear voices, footsteps, and see shadows moving around. These experiences add to the eerie atmosphere of the lighthouse, making it a popular spot for ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts. The combination of history and haunting makes the lighthouse a symbol of how past tragedies can leave a lasting mark. The skunk ape, a creature that reportedly roamed the swamps of Florida during the 70s and 80s, is another strange tale. This creature, described as a mix between a human and an ape, was said to be large and foul-smelling. Despite many reports, no one could provide solid evidence, so the stories were often ignored. However, in 2000, 2 photos were anonymously sent to a police station in Sarasota County. The photos showed a creature that looked part human, part ape, baring its teeth at the camera. Its eyes reflected the camera's flash, making the image even more disturbing. These photos spread quickly, but authorities still have not confirmed if the skunk ape is real. The skunk ape is part of a larger group of legendary creatures like Bigfoot and the Yeti. These creatures are often reported in remote, wild areas, adding to their elusive nature. The skunk ape sightings in the swamps of Florida fit this pattern. People have described it as a tall, hairy creature with a strong, unpleasant odor. The 2000 photos reignited interest in the skunk ape, leading to more investigations and expeditions into the Florida swamps. Despite the lack of definitive proof, the skunk ape remains a part of local folklore and a subject of ongoing interest. The Newby Church in North Yorkshire has a reputation that goes beyond the 1963 photo. The church's history is filled with reports of strange occurrences. People have heard unexplained noises, felt sudden drops in temperature, and seen ghostly figures. The Newby Church, which has stood for quite some time, appears to have been abandoned for decades. Why? Several people have reported seeing a ghostly figure within the church hall. In 1963, someone captured what they believed to be a ghost in the church. This image, which experts confirmed as authentic, has left many puzzled. No one has been able to provide a definitive explanation for what was captured in that photograph, leaving the eerie presence in the church hall an unsettling reality. The photo shows a tall figure in a hooded robe, which some believe to be a monk or a figure from the church's past. The church's deserted state adds to its spooky reputation, making it a place of interest for those intrigued by the paranormal. Rainham Hall in Norfolk, England, holds another ghost story. This old building has been home to the Townsend family for centuries. On September 19, 1936, photographers on assignment at the hall captured a famous ghost photo. The photo, later published in Country Life magazine, showed what looked like the ghost of Lady Dorothy Walpole, an 18th century mistress of the manor. The image is one of the most well-known examples of ghost photography. Whether it's real or not, it raises questions about the existence of ghosts and if this photo is proof of their presence. Lady Dorothy Walpole's life was filled with drama, including rumors of a scandalous affair and a death. This adds a layer of intrigue to her ghostly presence. Visitors to Rainham Hall have reported seeing her ghost on several occasions, adding to the legend. The hall's long history and the Townsend family's prominence make the story of Lady Dorothy's ghost even more compelling. Each new event shows us how much we still have to discover. From Bigfoot to lethal UFOs. These stories, while fascinating, often face skepticism from those who want more concrete evidence. Yet, the continued reports and the photos that come with them keep people interested and puzzled. They remind everyone that there are still many things not understood about the world. Even without clear answers, these tales continue to capture the imagination and spark curiosity. The St. Augustine Lighthouse not only has the tragic story of Maria Mestre de los Dolores Andreu, but also other reports of ghostly encounters. The skunk ape fits into a larger pattern of legendary creatures. The Newby Church stands as a reminder of unexplained occurrences in old places. Rainham Hall's story of Lady Dorothy Walpole adds to the long history of ghostly tales in ancient homes. These stories keep the sense of wonder alive, making the world seem a little bigger and more than before. Let's dive into the world of strange and unexplained phenomena, starting with Bigfoot. Forget about the Loch Ness Monster or the Chupacabra. Bigfoot is the most famous and debated creature of our time. Over the years, many people have claimed to have seen this massive ape-like creature with human-like traits. Despite the lack of solid evidence, a video surfaced a few years ago that changed many minds. Some might think it's just another ape, but notice how it walks. Unlike most apes that have bent postures, this figure walks upright like a human. Plus, it's tall and slender, not like a gorilla. So what is it? It could very well be Bigfoot, taking a casual stroll after causing some unknown trouble. An Oregon farmer named Paul Trent took a photo that has become legendary among UFO believers. The picture shows what looks like a flying saucer hovering in the sky. Trent said he watched the object for a while before snapping the photo. Skeptics dismiss it as a hoax or a misidentification, but the lack of clear evidence keeps people guessing. This photo hangs in the balance between belief and doubt, capturing the imagination of those who yearn for proof of visitors from other worlds. Antarctica is another place full of potential discoveries. It's so cold and difficult to explore that scientists haven't been able to fully study it. Satellite images have shown formations that some think could be pyramids. These four-sided shapes sticking out of the ice have sparked theories that they might be even older than the pyramids in Egypt. Are they the remains of a lost civilization, evidence of aliens, or just natural formations? Because it's so tough to research in such a harsh environment, we might never know for sure. Stefan Michalak's story from the late 1960s adds another strange account to the UFO files. Michalak, a Polish man living in Canada, came back from a rock hunting trip with odd burns on his chest. Doctors couldn't explain the burns, which Michalak said were caused by an encounter with two UFOs. He described approaching the crafts, thinking they were military experiments, only to be blasted by an unknown force. Michalak's story never changed over the years, making it a puzzling chapter in the history of supposed alien encounters. A creepy photo shows three kids playing near a chair with a shadowy man in the background. The odd thing is, the man wasn't there when the picture was taken, according to the people present. This ghostly figure, dressed in a trench coat and hat, looks like something out of a horror movie. but the photo predates the creation of any such character. This makes one wonder who or what the figure could be. The Battle of Los Angeles photo, taken shortly after the attack on Pearl Harbor, shows searchlights focused on something in the sky. People initially thought it was another attack, but no clear explanation was ever given. Despite much speculation, no official answer has been provided, making this wartime photo a lingering question mark. A Swedish exploration team found an unusual object on the Baltic Sea floor. About 60 feet wide and sitting on an 8-meter-high pillar, this formation has sparked various theories, including it being a Nazi relic or a crashed UFO. Several expeditions have not been able to explain it, making it a curious underwater find that continues to puzzle researchers. From the icy expanses of Antarctica to the murky depths of the Baltic Sea, these stories weave a web of strange events and unanswered questions. Each photo and account sits on the edge of belief and skepticism, inviting us to wonder about the limits of our knowledge and the vast possibilities of what might be out there. The vast and scorching land of California's Death Valley lies an odd sight that has puzzled scientists for years: the Sailing Stones. These rocks, located on the dry bed of Racetrack Playa, range in size from small pebbles to large boulders, some weighing up to 700 pounds. The most baffling part is how these stones seem to move on their own across the desert floor. They leave long trails in the sand, showing that they have slid from one place to another. Despite many studies, no one has witnessed the stones in motion, and the exact cause of their movement remains unknown. Elsewhere, a peculiar figure stands out in the history of one of the 20th century's most shocking events: the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Amid the chaos, a woman known as the Babushka Lady was captured in several videos. She wore a distinctive headscarf and seemed calm while everyone around her panicked and ran for cover. Her identity has never been discovered, and her calm demeanor has led many to speculate about the footage she might have captured that day. This footage, if it exists, could offer new insights into the tragic event, but it remains hidden, just like her identity. As we go further, the line between real and strange blurs even more. The modern-day Pteranodon. A photograph from the 1940s has sparked debate about the possibility of time travel. The picture shows a man dressed in clothes that seem too modern for the era. He wears a t-shirt, sunglasses, and holds a camera that looks out of place for the time. This image has led to wild speculation about the existence of time travelers. Some see it as clear evidence, while others think the man's fashion sense was simply ahead of its time. The photograph continues to intrigue and puzzle those who come across it. A photograph emerged that reignited discussions about the survival of prehistoric creatures in the modern world. The image shows a group of American soldiers standing over a large creature they claim to have shot down near Vicksburg, Mississippi. The creature resembles a pteranodon, a prehistoric flying reptile believed to have gone extinct millions of years ago. This photograph caused a stir, leading some to believe that such creatures might still exist in remote areas. However, most scientists dismiss the image as a hoax or a case of mistaken identity, adding another layer of debate to the mix. Mabel Chinnery and her husband visited a graveyard in Suffolk, England, to pay their respects at her mother's grave. After their visit, they returned to their car, and Mabel took a picture of her husband sitting in the driver's seat. When the photo was developed, it revealed a ghostly figure sitting in the back seat, which Mabel identified as her deceased mother. This eerie photograph has sparked countless discussions about the possibility of an afterlife and whether spirits can visit the living. Some view the photo as proof of life after death, while others believe it to be a trick of the light or a flaw in the film. This image continues to fascinate and perplex those who see it, leaving them to wonder about the nature of the unseen world. The stories of these strange events and unexplained phenomena continue to capture the imagination of those who hear about them. The Sailing Stones of Death Valley, the Babushka Lady at the JFK assassination, the time-traveling hipster, the supposed modern-day pteranodon, and Mabel Chinnery's ghostly photograph all remain topics of endless curiosity and debate. Each tale adds to the rich tapestry of human history, full of questions that may never be fully answered. Mabel took a photo of her husband sitting in their car, thinking it would be a nice memento. There was no one else in the car with them, or so she believed. But when she looked at the picture later, she saw a figure sitting in the back seat. Mabel thought this was a final goodbye from her deceased mother. To her, it was a comforting thought, but to others, it seemed creepy. The world is full of stories like Mabel's. People often claim to see things that shouldn't be there, capturing strange figures or faces in their photos. These sightings make people question what they know about the world. Are these really spirits from beyond the grave, or are they just tricks of the light, reflections, or even glitches in the camera? Sometimes the brain finds patterns where there are none, making people see things that aren't really there. Photos and videos that supposedly show aliens are another common topic. These images are often blurry and unclear, even though people now carry high-quality cameras on their phones. If aliens are visiting Earth, they seem to stay just out of clear view. This makes some people skeptical, wondering why these images are never clear if the sightings are real. People are drawn to the idea of the extraordinary because it adds excitement to their lives. The thought of ghosts or aliens is more thrilling than everyday news. But often, there are simple, rational explanations for these strange sightings. Psychological effects, optical illusions, and even hoaxes can explain many of these events. Still, the possibility that there are things humans don't understand yet cannot be completely ruled out. Science is always advancing, and what seems paranormal today might be explained tomorrow. Until then, a healthy dose of skepticism is wise. The world is already strange enough without jumping to conclusions about ghosts or aliens at every unusual sight. The photo of her husband and the figure in the back seat raises questions. Is it a ghostly farewell, a clever prank, or just an illusion? Everyone must decide for themselves what to believe about these stories. The quest for understanding, whether it's about life in space or strange occurrences on Earth, continues. Photos and videos often appear that make people question reality. Sometimes, it's a figure in the background, and other times, it's a strange light in the sky. These images spark debates and make people wonder if they really know what's out there. It's important to look at these things critically. Just because something can't be explained right away doesn't mean it's supernatural. People are fascinated by the unknown. The idea that there might be more to the world than what is visible is exciting. But with so many easy explanations, it's good to consider all possibilities. That figure in the photo might just be a shadow, or someone who walked by at the perfect moment. The light in the sky might be a plane or a drone. While the idea of ghosts and aliens is fun, it's critical to be open to simpler explanations. Often, the truth is more straightforward than imagined. But this doesn't mean the search for answers should stop. Understanding the world is an end. Each discovery, whether proving or debunking a theory, brings everyone closer to the truth. Is there truly more to the unknown? Or do our minds create out of the ordinary? Share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more intriguing discussions.